Hey, what's up? Stephanie, the English coach here from EnglishFulltime.com. Today, I want to share one of my fluent pronunciation trainings with you. This is training number 1. Usually with these trainings, these are like 2-minute videos. They're designed for listen and repeat style learning. But in this video, I'm actually going to break everything down. I'm going to show you, I'm going to analyze it with you, I'm going to teach you. And then at the end, I will give you the listen and repeat version so that you can also train your pronunciation with this video. Now, if you discover that you like learning like this, I want to invite you to join my EnglishLife community because my students there get a training like this every single week. And if you join right now, that's even better because all of our members are going to be invited to do our Fluency Breakthrough Challenge for free, and the challenge starts on July 8th. So for more information, check out the links below, and I will see you there. Okay, so here we go. Fluent pronunciation training number 1. Listen, internalize, practice, repeat. So the way we learn with this material, like I said, usually these videos are listen and repeat style videos. They're just a couple minutes long. I say everything and then my students repeat after me and they practice copying what I say exactly the way that I say it. So listening is the first part. You have to listen very closely. And sometimes you have to listen to these videos several times before your ears can really even hear the differences in the sounds that we're working on or nuances that are hiding inside of some of the long words or phrases, connected speech, stuff like that. Then you have to internalize it. You have to sort of just let it become a part of you. And I know that sounds strange, but the more you do it, the more you internalize it, actually. Then you practice, right? You practice out loud, okay? But the practicing, notice that it is the third step. It's not like I want you to start copying immediately. Train your ears first, okay? Listen to the video a few times, train your ears, and then practice out loud so that your ears are ready to give you feedback on what you say and how you say it. And then finally, the fourth step here is repeat. Just repeat the process. After you practice out loud for a while, maybe it's time to listen again, to focus on listening and really training your ears to hear sounds correctly, to hear how words are joined together so casually and effortlessly and fluently and smoothly. Okay, what's actually happening there? Train your ears to recognize it. Okay, internalize it, let that rhythm of the language and the intonation patterns become a part of you, then practice out loud. It's just a cyclical process, okay? It's a cycle. You just have to do it again and again, and it will start to get easier. The first time is always going to be the hardest. Okay, so now let's dig in. We're going to compare some sounds, okay? I want us to compare the O sound and the O sound. O, O. O, 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 O. Now the O is a diphthong. Hopefully you're already familiar with this sound. The O sound is a sound I have never heard anyone else teach in English. I speak American English, by the way. I'm from California, born and raised, so I have a West Coast Californian accent. And in all the material out there for the American accent, I've never heard anybody talk about this sound. Yet this is a sound that I have found I consistently use in my accent. So I decided I use it. I'm going to teach it to my students. I'm not going to wait for dictionaries to catch up with modern language. I'm just going to teach it. So here we go. This is the O sound, and it's very similar to the O in Spanish, okay? Or if you speak a language that uses a sound like this, listen to these words. Goal, okay? Goal, okay? It goes from the G to the O to the dark L, okay? Goal, like he scored a goal, right? We're all talking about goals right now with the World Cup going on. Anyways, goal. Now let's compare it to go, go, go. Now we have told, told. He told me he wouldn't be here today. He told me, told. Now, I see a lot of people teaching this like, oh, told. But I don't know who speaks like that. Maybe they speak like that in the UK. But over here where I live, you're going to hear people say told. He told me. Now let's compare it to toad. There was a toad in the road. That rhymes. Toad. Told. toad. Now we have hole, like there is a hole in the ground. Hole. Hone. I need to hone my skills. Hone, hone. Now I'm going to read them all together. Goal, go. Told, toad. Hole, hone. Goal, told, hole. Go, toad, hone. So in this type of training, the way that I structure the words that we compare and contrast, or lists of words, there's always something that I'm doing in the background when I'm creating a lesson like this that allows your brain, whether you realize it or not, it allows your brain to pick up on some aspect of the language that maybe you didn't realize before. And this is where the internalization part comes in. You might start noticing things in the language that you didn't even notice before, simply because I'm putting the right words next to each other to help you make these realizations. Next, we have rhyming words. So all of these words rhyme. The only difference is the initial sound. Here we go. Very, berry, cherry, hairy, dairy, scary, merry. Again, very, berry, cherry, hairy, dairy, scary, merry. So they all end with airy, 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 airy. That is the sound that repeats. And I love teaching pronunciation through rhyming words because the spelling in English lies. Okay, you look at the spelling and you think, oh, the word should be pronounced like this, but it's actually not pronounced like that. And you can clearly see that and hear that when you have words that rhyme next to each other. It makes you go, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I was saying this incorrectly. Now, native speakers, they just know what words rhyme and what words don't. And we almost don't even care about the spelling. We treat the spelling system of English and the spoken system of English as two separate systems. Unfortunately, for learners, you almost always learn the spelling system before the spoken system. You learn how to spell words and how to read words even before you learn how to pronounce words or how to pronounce those specific sounds in English. And then as an adult, you have to learn how to undo all of that. And it can be so hard, but it's not impossible. And of course, that is what I'm here to help with. Now we have skill practice. And here we're going to practice the silent L. So in all of these words here, the L is silent. Do not pronounce it. Here we go. Would, should, could, walk, talk, half, chalk, salmon. Again, would, should, could, walk, talk, half, chalk, salmon. Okay, now were any of these words surprising for you? Because I have worked with so many English language learners around the world, and these are the words that they almost always mess up because of the silent L. Okay, so let us know in the comments, which word were you shocked to realize actually has a silent L? Next, we have long words, and I'm just going to read through this list a few times, sometimes a little bit slowly, sometimes faster, and I want you to start feeling the sounds of the words. I want you to start noticing what syllables are reduced, what syllables sound stronger, more prominent, more clear in the word, okay? And remember, we often use the schwa, the sound, when we reduce a syllable. So you might see the letter O or the letter A or something like that, but you might be hearing okay? So here we go. Photograph, 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 photograph. Occasion, 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 occasion. Necessary, 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 necessary. Artificial, artificial, arta. Notice that T, artificial, artificial. Scrumptious, 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 scrumptious. Again, all of them. Photograph, occasion, necessary, artificial, scrumptious. Okay, next we have something related to culture. This time we have entertainers. These are famous people. I'm sure you've heard of them. But what you'll notice is that when it comes to culture, when it comes to people, names, places, proper nouns, there's a way that you pronounce it in your native language that sounds almost nothing like what it sounds like in English. So it's a real challenge learning how to say something you've been saying all your life one way and then to say it another way. But that's okay, because here we are working on pronunciation in English. I'll show you how all of these names are pronounced in English, and then I challenge you to practice them. And they might sound funny in your mouth, they might sound weird, or they might even sound wrong. I totally get it. But for fun and for the sake of pronunciation, let's practice. Here we go. We have Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Freddy Mercury, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Shakira, Beyoncé. Okay, now I really want you to exaggerate the sounds, okay? You might be trying to pronounce them in English and you don't even realize that you're still using sounds from your native language. For example, Spanish speakers, I don't want to hear Shakira, okay? Shakira, Shakira, Shakira. No, Madonna, okay? We're going to say Madonna, Madonna. Let's start over. Let's start the list again. Here we go. Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Shakira, Beyoncé. Okay, next we have some fixed phrases with food. Now, when we say fixed phrases, we mean that the phrase exists like this and it doesn't change. So for example, salt and pepper, we don't say pepper and salt. We don't say, oh, can you please pass the pepper and salt? Like that sounds so weird. So the phrases exist like this and we don't change it. Now, I'm going to read through this list, but one thing I want you to pay attention to is the word and. We're going to shrink this down until it's almost non-existent. So here we have salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. Okay, salt, salt. Also notice I am not releasing the T. I am not saying salt, salt and, salt, no. Salt, salt, okay? Salt and pepper, salt and pepper. Would you please pass the salt and pepper? Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips. Meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. Peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly. Would you like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly. And finally, we have sentences, and here we're focusing on contractions where the is becomes a z, okay? Listen, pizza's ready, pizza's ready, Gloria's coming over later, my phone's charging in the kitchen. Something's wrong with my computer, okay? This is very natural English. This is what you're gonna hear native speakers say. This is how we talk. We drop words, we connect words all the time. So if I'm cooking and you're at my house and I'm making a pizza, I'm not gonna announce, the pizza is ready. I'm gonna drop the, okay? Pizza's ready. All right, everybody, pizza's ready. Then we have, oh, hey, guess what? Gloria's coming over later. Gloria's coming over later. My phone's charging in the kitchen. Something's wrong with my computer. Okay, so that is it. Now let's go through everything at a faster pace, and we're going to go through the whole lesson so you can do the listen and repeat part. But I'm not going to give you a ton of time to repeat. If you need more time, just get ready to pause the video as I go through everything and focus mostly on the listening, because you actually want to listen. so that your ears can give you that feedback to let you know when you're doing something wrong, okay? Then focus on repeating, copying, etc. Here we go. Fluent pronunciation training number 1. Listen, internalize, practice, repeat. Sounds: o, 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 o. Goal, go. Told, toad. Whole, hone. Goal, told, whole. Go, toad, hone. Rhyming words: very, berry, cherry, hairy, dairy, scary, merry. Again, very, berry, cherry, hairy, dairy, scary, merry. Skill practice: silent L. Do not pronounce the L. Here we go. Would, should, could, walk, talk, half, chalk, salmon. Long words: photograph, occasion, necessary, artificial, scrumptious. Again, photograph, occasion, necessary, artificial, scrumptious. Culture: entertainers: Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Shakira, Beyoncé. Again, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Shakira, Beyoncé. Fixed phrases with food: salt and pepper, bread and butter, fish and chips, meat and potatoes, peanut butter and jelly. Again, salt and pepper, bread and butter, fish and chips, meat and potatoes, peanut butter and jelly. Sentences, contractions. The is becomes z. Here we go. Pizza's ready. Gloria's coming over later. My phone's charging in the kitchen. Something's wrong with my computer. One more time. Pizza's ready. Gloria's coming over later. My phone's charging in the kitchen. Something's wrong with my computer. Okay, and that is it. So tell me, what did you think? Did you learn something new? And did you notice something? Share something that you noticed about how words are connected or sounds or something. Share it with us in the comments. That way we can all learn from your observations. Okay, and before I wrap up this video, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is subscribed here and who has been subscribed here. I know many of you have been subscribed for years, and I simply have been completely inconsistent with my posting schedule. And it's honestly, I am so sorry. It's because I'm just not Superwoman. I cannot do it all. God knows that I try, but I've really been focused on my kids. So I had my first son, Arlo, in 2020, my second son, Rocco, in 2022. That has been crazy. And I've just been focused on working with our students in our courses and our programs because I had so many things that I wanted to dig into there and research and figure out. And I was testing a lot of my ideas around learning with students, with real people. And I just think that that's awesome because now when I come here and teach on YouTube, I'm not really just going to be saying, oh, I think this is the best way. Yes, I'm a language learner. Yes, I can share from my perspective what worked for me. But one of the craziest experiences I had in all of this is realizing that what worked for me didn't always work for other people. And what works for other people doesn't always work for me. So now I just feel like I have a much, much broader understanding of language learning in general, now that I've actually run courses and helped people get results by taking very specific actions. And I want to talk about everything that I learned through doing that. Because I don't know if I said this already, but the courses are complete now. I've basically created almost everything that I'm going to create as far as course creation goes. And so now I have more time and more mental space to focus back on social media and YouTube. I'm super excited about that because the courses, while they are structured learning experiences with lots of training, lots of information, and just different things. Believe it or not, there are things that I never got a chance to teach, like related to grammar, for example, because my courses are not focused on grammar. And there are just other things about language learning that I didn't really get to talk about all this time, and I just cannot wait to share. So that's it. A little bit long-winded, I apologize, but I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you learned something, and I will see you soon in another video. Remember, if you want to learn with me regularly every single day, come check out our English Life community. You are going to love it. It is like a playground for your English, but also so much more. You'll get lessons, you'll get tasks and projects and things that you can do to improve your English skills. You'll get to be part of an amazing community. You'll get to practice your English whenever you want. You'll get real speaking practice. Also, we have some incredible bonuses that I've just added. So yeah, go check it out, and I will hopefully see you on the inside. That's all, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.